Everything you've been taught about being good was a lie, not to protect you, but to keep you weak. Machiavelli knew it 500 years ago, and if you don't learn it now, you'll always be a pawn in someone else's game. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Niccolo Machiavelli power begins in the mind, not in wealth, not in armies, not in titles. A weak mind sabotages even the strongest body, but a disciplined mind can shape nations. Most people never realize this because their minds are chained, not by iron, but by the invisible need for approval. Approval is the first prison. It keeps men obedient, predictable, and weak. Look at the world around you. Billions of people chained to the opinions of others. They want to be accepted, admired, applauded. They fear rejection more than death. They edit their words, dilute their beliefs, and betray their instincts just to be liked. They walk in circles, afraid to offend, desperate to fit in. Machiavelli would laugh at such weakness. He knew love and approval were worthless currencies in power. Love is given freely and taken away just as freely. Approval belongs to whoever dangles it like a leash, and whoever holds that leash owns you. The first shackle. Ask yourself, do you speak your true thoughts, or do you filter them for acceptance? Do you make your own choices, or do you wait for applause before you act? Every hesitation is another link in the chain. Every compromise another lock on the cage. People live like prisoners and don't even see the bars. They measure themselves by likes, followers, compliments, and whispers of approval. They sell their freedom for a pat on the head. Machiavelli warned that a prince must rule himself before he can rule others. The first chain you must break is this: the need to be liked, the resentment of the free. When you cut this chain, people notice. You will feel different. You will no longer bend for flattery. You will no longer collapse under shame. You will not sell yourself for affection, and people will hate you for it. Why? Because your freedom exposes their slavery. Most cannot imagine living without approval. When they see you break free, they feel their own weakness, so they will resent you. They will whisper that you are arrogant, cold, even ruthless. Good, let them whisper. Those insults are proof you are no longer theirs to control. The solitude test. Here is the first test of power. Can you stand alone, not just physically, but mentally? Can you hold your belief when the world mocks you for it? Can you move without applause? Can you act without explaining yourself to the herd? History is filled with men who pass this test. Galileo standing alone against the church to defend science. Churchill defying his peers when they begged for compromise with Hitler. Machiavelli himself daring to write truths about power that his society wanted buried. They were mocked, attacked, even punished. But they endured. And because they endured, they shaped history. The herd mocked them, but history remembered them. From craving to command. When you kill the need for approval, something strange happens. People begin to respect you. They may not like you, but they will feel your independence. They will sense you cannot be bribed with compliments or manipulated with shame. You become free, and a free mind is dangerous. Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved, because fear creates respect that love cannot. Love changes with the wind. Fear endures. When you stop chasing affection, you begin to command respect without asking. The weight of silence. This transformation is not glamorous. It will not earn you applause. In fact, it will earn you enemies. People will call you detached, selfish, even cruel. But beneath their anger is something they will never admit: admiration. Because deep down, everyone wants to be free. They are just too afraid. Your refusal to beg for approval forces them to confront their chains. And most will hate you for it, but the strong, the ones worth leading, will recognize it for what it is: power, a ruthless challenge. So here is your challenge. For 7 days, stop seeking approval. Say what you believe, not what is safe. Act without explaining yourself. Refuse to announce your plans for applause. At first, it will feel like walking into battle without armor. Every instinct will scream at you to seek comfort, but each time you resist, you will feel stronger. Soon, you will notice the truth. Approval was never protection. It was the leash around your neck. Rising above the herd. Once you break this first chain, you begin to see clearly. You'll notice how others are controlled by their hunger for validation. Colleagues desperate for recognition. Leaders terrified of criticism. Friends reshaping themselves just to fit in. You'll see the herd bowing to invisible masters, likes, trends, gossip, applause, and you will rise above them, because while their chains remain intact, yours will lie shattered on the ground. The first victory. This is the first victory of power, not conquering others, but conquering yourself. When you kill the need to be liked, you kill the first weakness every ruler, warrior, and strategist must overcome. Only then are you ready for the next stage, to stop thinking like prey and start thinking like a predator. Fortune favors the bold. Niccolo Machiavelli. Most people live like prey. They scan their surroundings, hoping not to be noticed, hoping danger passes them by. Their thoughts are filled with fear. What if I fail? What if they laugh at me? What if I lose everything? This is the voice of prey. It is timid, reactive, weak. And in a world ruled by predators, prey survives only as long as it goes unnoticed. The moment it is chosen, it is consumed. Machiavelli despised this mentality. He knew that fortune, opportunity, power, glory belongs not to the hesitant, but to the bold, to those who think like predators. The death of hesitation. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. Think of the opportunities you've lost, not because you were incapable, but because you hesitated. The promotion you never asked for. The business idea you never acted on. The relationship you never pursued. By the time you thought you were ready, the moment was gone. Someone else had already seized it. Machiavelli warned rulers not to wait endlessly for perfect conditions. Opportunity does not linger. A predator does not pause outside the door of fortune, debating whether it deserves to enter. It kicks the door down. Every hesitation is another meal handed to someone hungrier than you. The predator's questions prey asks, what if I fail? Predator asks, where is the weakness? What can I take? How can I strike before anyone else sees the opening? This is the difference between survival and dominance. When you think like prey, you wait for permission. When you think like a predator, you give yourself permission. You stop waiting for the world to act on you, and you start acting on the world. Boldness without recklessness. But predator thinking is not recklessness. Machiavelli cautioned that boldness without calculation is suicide. The predator is bold but calm, aggressive but precise. It studies its environment, learns the patterns of its prey, and waits for the perfect moment to strike. That is what you must train your mind to do. Study people. Watch their habits, their blind spots, their weaknesses. While they waste energy worrying about being liked, you prepare. While they hesitate, you plan. And when the time comes, you move without hesitation. Not on every opportunity, but on the right ones. The aura of boldness. When you begin to think this way, people feel it. They notice that while they are frozen in doubt, you are already in motion. This creates an aura. Followers are drawn to it. Rivals are intimidated by it. Why? Because boldness signals certainty, and certainty is rare. Think back to the leaders you've seen who never seemed afraid. They weren't always the smartest in the room, but they acted when others hesitated, and that made them powerful. History's predators. History rewards predators. Julius Caesar did not wait for permission from the Senate when he crossed the Rubicon. That one decisive act gave him Rome. Napoleon did not hesitate to strike first in battle. His boldness rewrote the map of Europe. In modern times, predators dominate business and technology. Steve Jobs didn't wait for the world to approve of the iPhone. Elon Musk doesn't wait for certainty before launching rockets or building empires. They move while others deliberate. The pattern is clear. The world bends to those who act boldly while others freeze. Silence. Before the strike, prey makes another fatal mistake. It broadcasts its intentions. It tells the world its plans, hoping for support. It announces its ambitions, hoping for applause. But predators know silence is power. When you reveal your moves too soon, you give rivals time to prepare, sabotage, or steal. Machiavelli warned that a ruler must conceal his intentions, appear harmless, act decisive, show one thing, plan another. The predator stalks in silence, then strikes without warning. By the time others realize what has happened, it's already too late. Exercise. Act before doubt. Here's your challenge. For the next 48 hours, act before hesitation takes hold. Speak first in the meeting, instead of waiting for approval. Make the call you've been putting off. Take the risk you've been rationalizing away. Each time you act boldly, you train yourself to kill hesitation. Each bold step builds the predator's reflex. Move first while others freeze. Calm aggression. Remember, the predator is not frantic. It is calm. It waits, calculates, then attacks with precision. If you let anger or desperation guide you, you slip back into prey mode, chasing instead of choosing. The predator doesn't chase. It selects. So do not rush blindly at every opportunity. Strike only those worth taking. This is the balance. Bold but disciplined, aggressive but strategic. From prey to predator. When you think like prey, the world feels like a threat. When you think like a predator, the world becomes an open field of opportunities. Prey waits to see what will happen. Predator decides what will happen. Prey hopes to be spared. Predator prepares to conquer. This is the second victory, killing hesitation and replacing it with movement. Once you master this, the world will feel different. You will stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What happens if I never try?" And once you begin to think like a predator, the next step is to master the art of disguise. Because the predator that hides its true strength is the most dangerous of all. A prince must learn how not to be good and use it according to necessity. Niccolo Machiavelli. Visible strength is fragile. A ruler who flaunts his power invites resistance. A warrior who reveals his weapons gives his enemy time to prepare. True power hides in plain sight. It is underestimated, unnoticed, until it is too late. Machiavelli knew this truth. The man who controls appearances controls the game. And if you want to become mentally unbreakable, you must master the art of disguise. Why visibility betrays you. Most people reveal too much. They can't help it. Their emotions spill into every interaction. When they're angry, their face burns with rage. When they're excited, they announce their desires. When they're afraid, their body trembles and their voice cracks. They think honesty makes them trustworthy. But in power, honesty is exposure. It hands rivals a weapon. Every uncontrolled emotion is an open door into your mind. Every revealed desire is a lever someone can pull. The world does not reward transparency. It exploits it. The fortress of unreadability. Imagine two men at the negotiation table. The first reacts to every offer with visible frustration or excitement. The second remains calm, unreadable, impossible to provoke. Which man controls the negotiation? The unreadable one. Always. Because when people cannot predict you, they cannot prepare for you. When they cannot read you, they cannot manipulate you. When they cannot provoke you, they stop trying. This is the power of disguise. Your mind becomes a fortress without doors. Appearances deceive. Machiavelli taught that a prince must appear virtuous while secretly acting in his own interest. This is not hypocrisy, it is strategy. Appearances control perception, and perception is often more powerful than truth. You must learn to project calm even when furious, confidence even when uncertain, indifference even when deeply invested, outwardly agreeable, inwardly calculating. People relax around those they believe are harmless. They lower their guard. They reveal information. They expose weakness. And by the time they realize you are not what you seemed, it's too late. Controlling the mask. The art of disguise is not about lying. It's about control. You decide what others see, not your emotions. When you're angry, show nothing. When you're interested, reveal indifference. When you're uncertain, display confidence. Think of poker players. Their true strength isn't in their cards, it's in their faces. The mask is their weapon. It forces opponents into mistakes. The same principle applies in life. When every reaction is a choice instead of a leak, you control the game. Mystery protects. You disguise doesn't only confuse rivals, it protects you. When no one knows what insults offend you, they cannot provoke you. When no one knows what you love, they cannot bribe you. When no one knows your fears, they cannot threaten you. Mystery is armor. It makes you untouchable. This is why mysterious figures are respected more than open books. Uncertainty creates fear. People fear what they cannot predict. Your goal: be easy to meet, impossible to understand. The modern shadow. Look at modern examples. Political leaders who never reveal their emotions terrify their rivals. CEOs who never appear shaken in crisis inspire trust from their teams. Even in personal life, the calm, unreadable partner holds the upper hand. This is not manipulation for its own sake. It is survival. In a world of predators, the man who shows his whole hand is the first to lose. Challenge: wear the mask. Here's your challenge. For the next 3 days, practice wearing the mask. When asked about your plans, answer without revealing your strategy. When provoked, give silence instead of anger. When praised, accept calmly without showing how much you crave it. At first, this will feel unnatural, but soon, people will stop pushing you, stop prying, stop trying to read you, because they can't. And when they can't, they fear you. Disguise as power. Disguise is not weakness, it is dominance. It means you choose when, how, and if others ever glimpse your mind. Think of a fortress with hidden gates. Enemies wander endlessly, never finding the entrance. Eventually, they give up. That is your mind when you master disguise. Machiavelli knew that when others underestimate you, you hold the greatest advantage. Let them think you are naive, distracted, harmless. Meanwhile, you are calculating every angle. By the time they realize you were never harmless, you already own the field. The Hidden Prince. The art of disguise is not about being fake. It is about sovereignty. Sovereignty over yourself, your emotions, and your image. Your emotions can serve you in private, but in public, they serve no one but your rivals. Keep them hidden. Let your ambitions guide you silently. By the time the world notices what you've built, it's already complete and unassailable. This is how you become a shadow that shapes reality. This is how you terrify rivals and command respect without a crown. Disguise is not the end of the transformation, it is the shield. The next weapon is even sharper, the ability to command fear. Because Machiavelli taught the ultimate truth, it is safer to be feared than loved. It is much safer to be feared than loved if one of the two must be wanting. Niccolo Machiavelli. Love is fragile. It is given freely, and it is taken away just as freely. One day the crowd cheers you, the next it burns your name in the streets. But fear endures. Fear is respect in its most unshakable form, and in a ruthless world, respect is survival. Most people misunderstand Machiavelli's lesson. They think fear means cruelty, tyranny, blood on the streets. But Machiavelli was precise. True power does not need to terrorize. It needs to command respect so absolute that no one dares to test its boundaries. The illusion of love. Most people chase love and approval like beggars chasing coins. They want sympathy when they fail, affection when they are weak, kindness when they break. They confuse pity with respect. But pity invites exploitation. Sympathy invites predators. Those who inspire it are never truly respected. Machiavelli knew this. He saw that rulers who depended on affection were always at the mercy of the crowd, and the crowd is fickle. The moment affection becomes inconvenient, it evaporates. If you depend on love, you are owned by it. Why fear works. Fear doesn't mean chaos. Fear means stability. It means others hesitate before crossing you. It means your silence weighs heavier than another man's shouts. Think of the people who command a room without raising their voice. They don't beg to be liked. They don't plead for approval. They simply stand firm, unshaken, and everyone adjusts around them. That is not cruelty. That is control. Punishment and reward. Machiavelli advised rulers to punish betrayal quickly and reward loyalty carefully. Never emotionally. You must do the same. If someone disrespects you, don't rage. Don't whine for fairness. Simply withdraw your presence, your cooperation, your favor. Let them feel the loss in silence. That is punishment enough. And when you reward loyalty, do it deliberately. Make your trust rare. Make your approval valuable. This creates psychological weight. People learn that testing you has consequences, while loyalty has rewards. They respect the balance. They respect you. The fortress mind. Fear is not built on noise. It is built on control, and control begins with yourself. If you cannot control your anger, others will provoke you. If you cannot control your desperation, others will exploit you. If you cannot control your fear, others will weaponize it. The fortress mind does not lash out. It does not beg. It does not explain itself. It simply stands. Like stone against the storm, it absorbs the blows and remains unmoved. That is the presence people come to fear. Removing desperation. Desperation is the enemy of respect. The moment you show you need someone's love, you surrender your power. The moment you argue for your worth, you reveal weakness. Stop chasing recognition. Stop explaining yourself to those who don't matter. Stop demanding fairness in an unfair world. Instead, become undeniable. Build such competence, such presence, such discipline that your silence is more powerful than others' noise. Historical examples. Look to history. Roman generals like Sulla commanded obedience not through endless cruelty, but through discipline. Those who crossed him knew there would be consequences. Those who served him knew loyalty would be rewarded. Modern leaders understand this too. The CEO who sets firm boundaries earns more respect than the manager who tries to be everyone's friend. The parent who enforces discipline raises children who respect strength instead of exploiting weakness. In every arena, the principle is the same. Love is optional. Respect is not. Challenge. Set boundaries. Here is your challenge for 1 week. Enforce absolute boundaries. When disrespected, don't argue. Withdraw. When provoked, don't explode. Remain silent. When guilted, don't defend. Stand firm. At first, people will test you harder, but soon they'll realize your boundaries are immovable. And then something shifts. They begin to respect you. Some will even fear you, not because you harmed them, but because they know they cannot control you. Fear without cruelty. Machiavelli warned that cruelty used recklessly destroys rulers, but fear rooted in respect creates stability. The cruel man lashes out from insecurity. The feared man acts with precision, never impulse. His strength is not noise, but control. Do not confuse the two. Cruelty breeds hatred, fear breeds caution, respect, authority. Becoming the fortress. When you embody this principle, you stop being an option. You become a fixed reality. The weak will avoid testing you. The strong will seek your alliance. All will treat you with respect. That is what it means to become a fortress, unmovable, untouchable, unbreakable. The fourth victory. This is the fourth victory of power, building an aura of fear rooted in respect. The first victory was breaking the chains of approval. The second was killing hesitation and thinking like a predator. The third was mastering disguise and becoming unreadable. Now, the fourth is building a fortress mind that commands respect without noise, fear without cruelty, authority without effort. And once you have become this fortress, you are ready for the final transformation, the one Machiavelli reserved for the most dangerous rulers of all, ruling without a crown. A prince should command respect through his actions, not his titles. Niccolo Machiavelli. Most people chase crowns. They dream of titles, positions, and recognition. They want the throne because they believe power lies in symbols. But Machiavelli knew the truth. Real power doesn't wear a crown. Real power is invisible. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't even need recognition. True rulers are often the ones you don't see. Their influence is silent. Their authority is felt, not displayed. They bend people and events to their will without anyone realizing it. That is the highest form of power, ruling without a crown. The fragility of fame. Visible power is fragile. When you crave recognition, you give the crowd a weapon. They can build you up with applause, then destroy you with criticism. They can turn your fame into scandal overnight. History is full of kings, presidents, and celebrities who rose on the shoulders of public love only to be torn down by the same crowd. But invisible power cannot be touched. It doesn't depend on affection. It doesn't bend to opinion. It works silently, unshaken by the shifting winds of approval. The danger of announcing authority. A ruler who must shout, "I am in charge," has already lost authority. A man who brags about his influence exposes his insecurity. The truly powerful don't announce themselves. They don't beg to be noticed. Their authority radiates without noise. Their influence is recognized without demand. Think of the difference between the loud manager who insists on being respected and the quiet strategist who shapes every decision behind the scenes. The first clings to authority. The second simply is authority. Building invisible power. To rule without a crown, you need two things: mastery of yourself and leverage over others. Mastery of self. By now, you've broken your chains of approval, killed hesitation, mastered disguise, and built a fortress mind. You no longer depend on validation. You are disciplined, unreadable, and unbreakable. This is the foundation. Leverage over others. Influence doesn't always come from titles or wealth. It comes from leverage. Information is leverage. Reputation is leverage. Loyalty is leverage. Even the perception that you remain calm under pressure is leverage. When people trust your strength in chaos, when they fear losing your presence, when they sense your control, they orbit around you naturally. That is invisible power. Influence without display. Invisible power means shaping outcomes while letting others believe they chose freely. In meetings, it means listening silently, then speaking last. cutting through confusion with clarity. People leave thinking it was their decision, but it was your words that settled it. In relationships, it means setting the frame. You don't chase affection. You define the terms of connection. Others adjust around you. In society, it means building networks quietly, establishing influence while rivals waste themselves chasing recognition. By the time they notice, your foundation is unshakable. This is ruling without a crown. You never fight for control because you already have it. The gravity effect. Machiavelli understood that rulers are not chosen. They emerge. Their power pulls others like gravity. When you radiate independence, discipline, and calm, people are drawn to you. They look to you in chaos. They follow your lead in uncertainty. They orbit around you, not because you begged for their loyalty, but because your gravity leaves them no choice. That is invisible power, effortless influence. Silence as a weapon. The moment you boast about power, it weakens. The moment you demand recognition, you prove you lack it. Machiavelli warned rulers to let victories speak for themselves. Keep them quiet. Let rivals underestimate you. By the time they realize your reach, it's too late. Victory whispered lasts longer than victory shouted. History's shadow rulers. History remembers kings, but shadow rulers often held the real power. Cardinal Richelieu, advisor to the French king, controlled France more than the crown itself. Modern nations are shaped not only by presidents, but by unelected advisors, financiers, and strategists who remain unseen. Even in business, the quiet investor often wields more control than the CEO in the spotlight. Would you rather be the face who takes the blame, or the hand that moves the pieces unseen? Challenge. Practice invisible power. For the next month, stop chasing recognition. In conversations, speak less, but with weight. In victories, don't announce. Let results speak. In conflicts, use silence to make others uneasy. Watch how people adjust. Watch how their respect grows. Watch how influence flows toward you, not because you demanded it, but because you became undeniable. The final crown. The greatest crown is the one no one can take because no one sees it. Machiavelli's true ruler doesn't need applause, doesn't need titles, doesn't even need to be loved. He shapes reality from the shadows, ruling without recognition, and therefore without resistance. This is the fifth and final victory. Mastering invisible power. The Machiavellian path. You have now walked through every stage of the transformation, breaking chains of approval, thinking like a predator, mastering disguise, becoming a fortress of fear and respect, and finally, ruling without a crown. This is the Machiavellian path, the path from weakness to untouchable strength. Remember this, the world will not thank you for becoming powerful. It will resent you. It will try to shame you, label you, pull you back into mediocrity. That is proof you've escaped. Stay ruthless. Stay disciplined. Stay invisible when you must, decisive when it counts, unyielding always. Because power is not something given, it is something taken. First by mastering yourself, then by shaping the world in silence. And those who truly rule do not need crowns. They simply rule.